Welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio. Tonight, the boys from the CrossPlatform Chat podcast are joining us. We've got Matt over there with his usual cup of whiskey.
That's right. Cheers.
Nice.
Cheers, my friends.
We are also joined by, and I have to steal it from Matt, Sonic Boom in the room.
Good evening, everybody.
What's up, baby?
And of course, the human plat, Greg.
Hey, hi. How's it going?
And everyone knows the beanied one, Gerard Barrera.
How's it going, all my fellow nerds? Thank you for joining.
How dare you,
Salute.
sir?
Yeah, I thought you'd like that one.
Fired.
That's right.
Shots have been
stole it.
fired.
I done stole it from the lion.
That's Lion's Mane.
You son
What's
of
going
a...
on, guys?
What's up, my nerds? This is the non-beanied lion's mane.
Do I really sound like that? I'm okay with it, actually.
No,
that's a good impression.
I didn't. Why you guys steal my catchphase, man? Why you gotta do that?
You know me. I go off the cuff, bro. It's all
I
improv,
don't know. We
baby.
stole it last week, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's.
But anyways, gentlemen, welcome to the couch. Matt, welcome back again. But for Devin, Greg, welcome.
That's true.
To this
Thank
couch.
you, my
Nice.
friend.
It's
Yeah.
a
Great to
new
be back.
couch for Matt.
It is. a
I'll do
new
my best
couch,
to keep my
so-
feet off it.
Yeah, we got
You know
four
what?
pillows. So
It's a game night. We're
No
good.
Charlie Murphy's out in here.
chair.
Yo, couch. Oh,
Nah,
and the
man.
word I can't say, but he
So how
can.
you fellas doing?
Good. I'm doing good. I don't know if I can speak on behalf of my other guys, but I'm doing good. We're doing good, right, boys?
I'm doing good. I'm
okay.
hanging in there. I'm still not
Nice.
vaccinated, so I think I'm the
I'm
only
right there
one on
with
the
you,
podcast
too.
not
One and two,
vaccinated, so
or
Oh, I'm
just
right there
counting the
with you.
days.
I'm waiting for those
got nothing.
appointments to become available
Yeah.
again. Because every
I'm-
every website I go on,
same
yeah,
daily, man.
I can say I have not had any blood clots from the Johnson & Johnson, so I'm good.
Hey, me either.
well, that's good because you're alive, so that's a good thing,
Right?
That's very good. That's a great observation. Yes.
I was actually talking to my hairstylist about that the other day. It's like I just can't get him. I'm like, find a red county. That's how I got mine. So
Oh, wow.
there you go.
Shots.
I mean,
No
Nice.
problem.
That's
Well,
No
that's
problem.
actually a good. That's actually a good
Yes.
idea.
that's a
And you're
You're
not
willing
too
to make
far.
that drive.
You're not actually. He's not too far from one in Colorado.
Oh
too.
no,
Yeah.
I'm
Aren't you
living in one.
You are
No,
in one, yeah.
I'm in one. I moved to up north. I'm in
Yeah.
Weld County now, which is vastly different than Boulder County, like night and day.
Yeah, it is.
So
It is.
we're not here to talk politics. We're here to talk about video games, right?
Live
Yeah,
in a
we're
red
not talking
state, you
about-
get it whenever you want. Got my like a month and a half
Jeez.
ago.
Take it
We're
easy
not
on those
talking,
red
you know.
states.
We're not talking about reality or anything like that. You know? But no. So for listeners, you guys recognize Matt. We had Matt back on. God, what?
Yeah, when
It's-
was that?
It's been a while,
It has been
actually.
half a year or
I
so,
mean,
maybe.
Yeah,
Was it during our Skype days?
No, it was still
no,
zoomy.
no.
It was still zooming.
We were
Um,
zooming. Oh, okay.
But I didn't have video back in those days.
Yeah, and it was
Checking my.
it was prior to us going live on
checking-
Twitch too.
Yeah, it
So-
was definitely
Yeah,
before that
definitely
as well.
before that, yeah.
Checking
Yeah.
my email. I don't see my invite.
Oh,
That's
VIPs, baby.
Well,
hold on.
see, Devin, this
Pause
was back
recording. I'm gonna
before
check
you
my
guys
spam
even,
filter real quick.
right? This was back before you guys even did the podcast. So, like, honestly, I'll lead you off with you guys. What made you guys actually start up cross-platform chat? Because we know circle button up there.
the rise of the
No.
Phoenix, if you will, the origin
Out of the
of,
action.
of the second coming. Yes.
No, it's funny because the idea to do a podcast had actually been percolating for like a while. And I was really the
Long
only
while.
holdout. Greg, I met through my old podcast, and he was my super fan. He made that whole podcast like worth doing because I made a great friend out of it. Devin, of course, I knew him for a long, long time, but both of them had been saying, we'd been like kicking the idea around. And then just out of the blue, as things started escalating, Matt kind of messaged me out of the blue and was like, you want to hop on? I was like, well, damn.
Come hang out with us.
Fate, you are here. So,
Yeah, if that isn't a sign, yeah.
No, and seriously, last time I was on, I just like had an amazing time just talking to you guys. So it was like,
Good.
rekindling that
man.
old love, and I was like,
Yeah.
those guys are great. So
I
Awesome.
really
mean,
appreciate coming back.
yours was the first podcast I ever really listened to.
I'm
So,
sorry.
Oh.
and that was on a consistent
They can
basis.
be so
and
much
then,
better than that.
And then what was that one that Devin and Matt? What was that one that Mike and them were doing too?
Oh, Devin
With
was
me?
on that too.
Yeah, that was
It
my-
was
you
mean
joysticks and
my-
party heads.
No. You mean my
Devin,
old
no.
podcast? What were
You
you
guys
doing?
are listening to
That's
that one
right.
too.
He had a-
Yeah, it was joysticks.
actually-
That was drunken debauchery. Don't
Nice.
do yourself a favor. Don't go looking for it.
We
Because
love
one day I want to be a senator, and it's gonna look real bad. So don't do that.
Look at you now.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, we were constantly just braiding each other on Twitter,
Mhm.
and always came down to if only we had a place to talk about this. And finally, we twisted
Dude,
Matt's arm enough
Light
to.
bulb. Yep.
Yeah.
so for our listeners, right? We had Khalif from Spawn on me on a few weeks ago, and everybody knows about the whole thing back and forth with Paris and him and the Ribs.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you guys want to see some entertaining Twitter threads, you got to go follow these guys on Twitter because, man, it is a GIF war and a half sometimes,
It is.
and it's fantastic.
Oh, dude, those are the best.
So the question is always who started it, though. That's how did it? What's the origin story of that? No, who started it?
Started.
Just the GIF war. I mean, like when you guys have your little GIF wars and stuff, who's usually the one that starts those?
Oh, Devin's
Yeah.
the instigator.
Yeah, all the time.
Oh.
100%.
All the time he's the
Oh, boy.
instigator. On the podcast, he's
Mhm.
just
I'm the bully.
berating
Absolutely.
me constantly.
You
I
know,
have to protect
he
myself.
didn't.
Just
He didn't. I
defend
got to mold
myself.
him, and one day he'll be a man, and I got to be responsible for that. So
I'll bring
I
him
just
around. Guys. It's gonna
gotta
take a
mold
while.
him.
So
So-
actually, I think our podcast has a really good contrast because
Mhm.
I'm not a Sony pony. I'm a Sony warhorse. Devin is an Xbot, and then
Oh.
Greg is probably the most platform agnostic guy I've ever known. Although currently he's on Xbox, so
Dude,
it's getting a little
loving
lonely
the
in my
term.
corner. over
Loving
here,
the
guys.
terminology there.
It's
I like it.
Matt's a
What I'm going
wordsmith,
for.
always has been.
Yeah.
Look at me go.
Xbot. PlayStation. I love it.
It's
Those
all
are
in
cool.
good fun, though. I
Yeah.
mean, we always introduce
Yeah.
our podcast as we're a podcast for gamers of all flavors. So we try to embody that.
Nice. There you go. Yeah. See.
Very cool.
It is a good thing. And that's the funny thing is you guys look at your podcast, right? It's being cross-platform. Yes, we're predominantly Nintendo and PlayStation on ours. We do cover Xbox. We don't ever knock the console. We may knock some business decisions they make.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
honestly, we knock PlayStation for their business decisions as well. Just like one of the things
Oh,
we'll talk
even-
about a little
even
bit
Nintendo.
later is even Nintendo.
Even
So-
Nintendo. Yeah.
We are equal opportunistic when it comes to sharing the criticisms, but honestly, we all know the cross or the whole platform war thing is all just BS anyways.
Yeah, it's all in your
It's all
head,
people that are
folks.
just bored.
Yeah. Those are old ways of thinking.
Hey Jerry, my wife says hi.
Ew.
Is this a podcast conversation or what's going on here?
So
Should
we've
we
got
be scared?
we've got the Twitch chat going on right now. So no, there's I don't know how it really started, but like anytime we get in a party chat to play COD or anything like that, my wife is always going, ew.
Whenever she first hears my voice,
When she
ew.
hears it.
That's her way of saying hi.
Yeah.
So that's our
Oh,
thing.
wooed.
So that's her thing right
That
now.
is
So-
weird. Come on.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
So I did want to start off, tonight's podcast a little bit. Having unfortunately to go back to two topics we've been discussing on this podcast for honestly seems way too long. And honestly, it needs to stop.
That's
So the
all.
first is
That's okay. Still keep the awareness out there.
absolutely. But the first is our thoughts go out to the victims of the multiple shootings that happened over the weekend.
Mhm.
Honestly, like the rest of the world jokes, like you can go on TikTok, you can go on and see different things where they are joking at us that, yes, as things are opening up more and more in the US because the pandemic, we're not having as many cases anymore of COVID-19 because a lot of people are getting vaccinated. Several of us here present are vaccinated completely. I'm sorry, Jerry and Maddie, if you haven't gotten taken care of yet. But
In time.
We'll
you know,
there
they
soon.
joke that, hey, the pandemic's coming to an end, so here's a return to mass shootings. And unfortunately, I can't disagree with that, because you see as more things open up, more things are happening, and it's sad, really. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, that the one in Boulder, that's, you know, my backyard, and with
That's crazy.
yesterday being the Columbine anniversary, it's
God, I
just
forgot.
living in
That's
Colorado.
insane. That's insane that it was so close to that, and it was
Yeah.
it was what was it, 49 people? Was it around that?
Columbine? Ooh.
No. The most recent this past, was it around 49 people
Boulder,
that got?
Boulder was only what, 9 people, including
9
the
people
officers?
fatality.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
and that's funny. Like we talked about on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. It's like, you know, and Devin and Matt can attest this, because growing up, I mean, we were all in Longmont, so we spent a lot of us spent a lot of time in Boulder, so we could all know exactly where that location was.
Yeah.
That it happened. So
That
it
is
is
our
really our
backyard.
backyard.
Yeah.
It really is. But just looking at it, you know, what happened in Austin, what in Indy, and you know, and what's worse is we talk about Stop Asian Hate, we, you know, Black Lives Matter and all that, but you know, that one in Indy was targeted, you know, and all the victims were of Indian descent. What I mean by Indian, but folks that are from India. So it's really sad to see that, and we really need to just stop it. And unfortunately, you know, all we can do is keep raising awareness towards it. And then the other thing is, we've talked about in recent weeks about the bullying that's happening in the gaming community. Kind of, we joke around about the console war, but honestly, that's a lot going on right now. As you got people, you know, there's so much hate going on. Somebody mentions, oh, I like a game, and everybody bags on them for liking a game. They say, oh, I support Xbox. Oh, but it's not a PlayStation, vice versa, whatever it is. But there's a streamer that goes by name of Seora, who is somebody that I know through you know, TikTok and streaming and whatnot. She does a really positive channel that's all about, she's a parent, so she's all about, you know, supporting like the parents who stream and whatnot, and trying to provide a good example. And she became the target of a streamer whose account has now been banned by Twitch. So they did not take long to ban the account. It took them 2 days, which thankfully is really good.
Yeah.
But him and this group called The Boys, what they do is they target female streamers who have not banned them from their streams, and raid their streams with a lot of sexual harassment.
Horrible.
It's insane.
It's horrible. It's insane. And I just want to say, you know what, Sarah, it should never have happened to her. And it's something we're always going to speak out against, the bullying, and it needs to stop too. I mean, because if we don't have a safe place to just stream to help everybody get through things, then what are we going to do? You know, there's no other place left. And I hate the fact that we have a society that, you know, some frat boy decided somewhere that they want to start a national rape day. You know,
That was when I first heard of that, that just took me by surprise. I couldn't even believe that was a thing.
So
it's insane how far people are going right now.
Unfortunately, you know, guys need to just stop this. You know, these are attacks against women. We talked about it with, you know, some of the comments that were made against Unalaska, right, a couple of weeks ago. Similar things. You know, everybody just stop. Like, let's stop the hate. Let's stop the bullying. Let's just have some fun, which is what gaming is supposed to be.
Yeah, be humans for 2 seconds, you know? And enjoy whatever you're doing.
Enjoy it, right?
What's the point? What is the point? And wasting that much energy in just instead of thinking of so many things to screw with people's lives, like just throw out a nice compliment or just watch. Maybe you'll like them. Who knows?
Yeah, like if you wake up and decide I'm going to start ruining people's day today, like get some help. Like you shouldn't wake up and your first thought is I want to go be mean to someone. Like just stop. Be human.
Kindness
Be
costs you
decent.
nothing, you know?
It's free. Yes.
Exactly. So yeah, so hopefully we can start seeing a decline in that, you know, as everyone starts kind of maybe going out more often. Now that the pandemic's opening up, they don't have to be keyboard warriors or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
So let's talk comics for a few minutes.
Ooh.
So first things first, Michael Keaton's publicist did confirm this week that he will be wearing the cowl in the Flash movie.
Nice. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, but
Yeah.
it's good to hear. You know.
Yeah. That's a nice
Yeah.
sentiment, but and once again, it's a DC movie, so I'll just wait until it comes out. Make my judgment there. I will not. I'm not going to get hyped. Yeah,
I'm gonna wait for the director's cut. That's me.
It's sad that you have to wait it out.
That's eventually
That
going to be.
depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devin,
no
that depends. Is Snyder doing it?
It'll be
I was about to say.
4-3.
Yeah. I'm not.
Um,
I'm done getting hyped on DC movies. I really am. I'm just going to take it
Like, I
when
feel
it
that
comes
they're
out.
good one-offs. That's it. They don't have like this.
Which one? What was a good one-off?
I don't
Give me
know.
one.
I don't know.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Was
Wonder
good.
Woman.
Oh, okay, yeah,
That
you're
was
right.
about it.
84
Okay,
was
you
not.
know, you're right. One
know?
first Wonder Woman and
Okay.
and Aquaman. That's
Yeah,
true.
but the second one was not. So stop.
the second
with
one was
like
bad.
stop with this continuation. Like have those
I
beautiful one-offs.
so I did watch.
Joker,
I watched Wonder Woman '84, and
It's so bad.
It's
It's
it
horrible.
wasn't as bad as everyone
It's-
was
Yeah,
making it
it's
out
not-
to be, but it still
dude,
wasn't great.
it was bad. It
But
was
it
it's
bad.
wasn't
come
great.
on,
The
like,
the only redeeming factor it has was Pedro Pascal. That was the only good performance.
Oh, he's
Okay,
in that?
hold
I
on.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the villain.
yeah,
I want to
the
watch it
villain.
now.
Oh, spoilers. Yeah.
He's the only good performance in the movie.
Right. I mean, it wasn't Batman and Robin bad.
Oh well,
Well-
it's not.
Well, of
Come on.
course not. Of
Let's-
course, no, I don't think anything could get to that like level of like Batman and Robin, Spider-Man 3. I think everyone saw it and learned what not to do from
Yeah.
those movies.
It would take a lot to get back to Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah.
The bar is on the floor there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
And Joel Schumacher would have to make a comeback. Yeah. Because honestly, where's he been ever since that movie?
it's true.
Right?
I have no
All right.
idea.
So, for those out there, everybody knows that we've been watching. Well, let me rephrase that.
yeah.
All of us on
thank
the
you.
podcast, but Jason,
Yep. Thank you.
and we've learned that everybody on CrossPlat except Matt has been
Hey,
watching.
Matt, high
Falcon-
five, Matt. High five, Matt. High five.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That's right, brother.
Shane.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll start with Devin and Greg on this one. What did you guys think of the latest episode?
I thought it was the best one so far by a mile.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like we've gone this far through all these episodes and
Mhm.
didn't get much character development, and there was so much of this one. It was so good.
Shouldn't it be that way every episode though? Like
It should be.
like
Well,
every
it should
episode
be,
should
but-
be better. Like
Yeah.
But the thing is, you gotta watch. You gotta figure it's Marvel, and when Marvel does that, there's always like an end result. They always have a result to get
Yeah.
to. Sometimes, like I totally agree. Some of the episodes can be a little dry and
But those are
slow,
those
but
are the
it
build-up.
leads to something. It always leads to something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then when it leads to that something, if it has like more than one episode to go, it keeps that momentum going up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the next episode's going to be insane. It's,
Well,
it's going to be the
going
final
'cause
fight.
It's,
Yeah.
Yep.
And the entire, and like, I think the entire episode, we're going to have Falcon in that suit.
Yeah.
The entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to, yeah, I can't wait.
I like the fact is like you finally got ahead to understand, like Sam finally realizes that, you know what, he needs to just stand up for what's right, like Steve. And I saw a TikTok that people were comparing like what John is like versus Steve, and it's like John was always saying, hi, my name's John Walker, I'm Captain America, whereas Steve's always like, hey, I'm Steve Rogers. He never introduced himself really as Captain America, and I think, you know, Sam's kind of realized that, hey, this is bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have to do this for like Isaiah. I love seeing him train with the shield.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was awesome.
I
And
mean-
finally find his own kind of rhythm and his own technique. That sequence was awesome. And also, I love, like, a lot of people have pointed this out, but I love the fact, like, the running montage, he's always to the right.
Yep.
On
Someone
the
else
left.
pointed that out. I saw too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's always good to see how they progress the series. Like WandaVision was the same way. The first 3 episodes, you're getting Bewitched, you're getting Brady Bunch, whatever, and you're
Yeah.
like, it's like unless you like those old sitcoms, you're like not having a good time. But it, you know, when it crescendos to, oh, this is all her making, you're just like blown away, and it's just, you know, it takes time. Disney, you know, Disney didn't make the MCU, and you know, with Iron Man, you know, it took 10 years of movies. And
DC, start listening, right?
Yeah.
Please.
Take your time.
Oh, just
Take your
make
time.
better
Don't
Don't
movies.
just jump
take
in
your
with
time.
Justice League.
Oh my God. Yeah.
How about this?
Oh
Just
God.
make better like progression.
No.
DC.
Just
That's it.
Stop.
It's an idea.
Stop letting everybody else do stuff and just give Christopher Nolan the keys to the garage. You
There you
gave
go.
him the keys to the Lambo. Give him the key to every other car.
You don't have to. Just make.
Just
better-
let him even produce it. Let him become
That's
Kevin
what-
Feige of DC, and I
He-
think we'll get.
Isn't he producer on a lot of those? I
He
don't know
was
how much he's
only-
involved.
Nolan,
No, Christopher
no,
Nolan
he
was only on the trilogy. He was like,
I know he
I'm
didn't direct them, but I think
he got
he's like-
producer
I thought-
rights on the Justice League
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
did
he?
he?
remake.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
I thought he was kind of a part
Then
of
I
the
res-
first Man
I-
of Steel. I thought, but
I respectfully, retract.
this
my
is all he's
comment.
doing.
Nah, it's just
Um,
it's his money. It's not any of his actual ideas.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
So,
feel
as,
like it
as we can tell.
mhm.
Nah. But no, I'm anxious to see where we go, and I'm anxious to see how they do U.S. Agent,
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
because
I'm in.
people-
And oh, go ahead, man. Sorry.
so I was gonna say is because if you didn't catch it right away, is the shield he's building is the U.S. Agent shield from the comics. It's the
Mhm.
reversed coloring,
Yeah,
so it'll be.
but I'm really interested to see the MCU look of the U.S.
Mhm.
agent. Like they're gonna make it. Like I already loved his Captain America look because it was already U.S. agent esque, and now
Mhm.
when he makes it his own and like goes crazy, I'm excited for the last episode. It's gonna be
Yeah.
so good.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So with Devin and Greg, I want to ask you guys this opinion because we kind of talked about this last week. Is how do you guys feel about the petition that some people are making to get T'Challa recast?
I was actually just chewing on that today. Because I was listening to some of your older episodes to get accustomed to the look and the feel. But
The shenanigans.
yeah,
Nice. Thank you.
It's just what we
honestly, I
expected.
think it should be up to his family, and they should be able to dictate what, if and when or at all, if they recast. Because whoever's filling those boots, it's just not gonna be the same. I don't think that's the look or the feel that Disney would even go for.
Mhm.
But they're put in a bad position. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Honestly, I think it should be up to his family on if
Yeah. And it really
that-
sucks because Ryan Coogler, the director, is just in such a hard place. Because
Yeah.
I mean, every interview he's in, if you go back, you know, he's really just still trying to grieve by losing a friend and a colleague,
Yeah.
and in part writing the sequel right now, and it's just it's got to be tough,
yeah.
man.
yeah, it's
It's a tough
impossible.
position.
It's impossible, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
from every
I'm
direction.
indifferent about it. I feel like, well, it's a direction, it's a decision that they make. Okay. And also, I don't want Boseman's legend to be sullied, but you know, also what are they gonna do?
Yeah, I think
it's
most people
tough.
are in that camp too, because you know he's not just an MCU actor. You know, he's done a lot of other things. You know,
He's done
Jackie
so many
Robinson,
look at the
James
icons.
Brown. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean he's
man.
done it all, and phenomenal actor and everything he's done. So you're kind of trying to fill two pairs of shoes there,
Yeah.
inadvertently.
Yep.
So it's a tough position,
Well-
and we'll see what they make, and yeah, it's gonna be a surprise to everybody.
Matt, Greg, what do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like, I'm glad I'm not the one that has to make calls like that because, like, I mean, T'Challa's a big character. Like, I'm sure they had tons of plans for him, but I don't know. There's just no good way to do it.
Yeah, I wonder what Black Panther 2 was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
You know, what was that on paper? And you know, Phase 4, same thing.
Mhm.
You know, what was that supposed to look like with Wakanda and everything he's done?
Because they had a lot of plans for Wakanda to be
Yeah.
more prevalent in the MCU too.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming back in Falcon Winter Soldier.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So it's, you know, it's here to stay.
hmm Speaking of that, really quick, how do you guys feel about the potential for Thunderbolts?
Could be cool.
I'm indifferent. AKA, I don't know who that. I don't even know who that is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna pretend. I don't.
Greg knows.
I don't follow the comics
yeah,
quick enough.
yeah,
Or,
yeah.
So Thunderbolts is the Marvel equivalent of Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
okay.
and it is all, you know, a lot of it has to do with the raft and Zemo being shipped off to the raft where all the supervillains go to hang out. I don't know.
I'm kind of the same way. This is I think the one part of DCU that they have like the carbosh on. Like even in their comics, the animated, you know, like the animated series, like all of those Suicide Squad episodes, like they really established that kind of like ragtag team going out, and like Thunderbolts really weren't like heavy in popularity.
No.
I think it's a bold move, but
mean,
I also think it's like Marvel trying to compete with the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
because
Bold
that's
case
move,
in
Cotton.
point.
yeah.
Devon's like, I'm indifferent because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I mean, I comment on Suicide Squad. You love to hate them. You know, they're a bunch of ragtag misfits.
Right.
Movies aren't always the best. Suicide Squad was better than reviews went out to believe, but yeah, we'll see.
And that was also like it had a going gag like every issue, and that's what I loved about it too. Like who's gonna screw up and like trying to escape.
Yeah.
Every episode, one or two of the members always got blown up or killed somehow because they were trying to escape.
Mhm.
Like it was always like Harley Quinn. It had its standard people, but
Yeah.
I always loved like reading like who's gonna get blown up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah, I feel like that's why Suicide Squad has that kind of niche, kind of just on their side right now. So I don't know
MCU
about-
hasn't really done like they've kind of really strayed away from that kind of gritty side of things. Like they've kind of let like Netflix go off and do that kind of stuff, but they kind of don't even associate it with it really.
Speaking of Netflix, I mean, you do have Daredevil though is going to be in Spider-Man 3.
all of them are actually. They John Barnthal just signed to be the Punisher for more projects.
Ooh.
Good.
And,
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great. He was a really good
so,
Daredevil.
some of them are coming back strong.
I know they're talking about Vincent D'Onofrio coming back as Kingpin.
Oh, have to.
Oh, thank you.
Have to have
Thank
him.
you. I did not hear that. Awesome. I didn't hear about that, but that's
Yeah.
great. He was a great Kingpin.
Oh, so good.
Such a
They're
good
starting to
actor.
talk about that. So let's move on to the gaming news, you know, which is all something that we all love and dear, and it's all brought our collective podcast together.
Matt's
right?
perking up over there. I see.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's like,
I don't mean to
That's
be
like,
mute over here. Like comics
That's
and
like,
all IPs
comics, who
pertaining
cares?
therein. Look, it's a huge hole in my nerddom.
Hey,
so I'm sorry.
easy, Phil Spencer, with your collection in the background.
That's right. I'm saying things without saying things, you know.
Right. So this week rather, Nintendo put out the first teaser trailer for a new Lego set.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to say I felt like
Where's your
I-
poltergeist?
I was like, what? Because Matt sent me the notes,
Yeah.
and I was like,
whoa, I
What?
just blinked. Whoa.
I'm like, what the heck? And then I looked over. I went. I
you-
googled it, and
Jason, you haven't seen these?
I have not seen
Yep.
these. But
Oh,
then
the
again,
Mario
I'm not
version?
A big Lego. I'm not a big Lego person.
Yoshi up in here. That's awesome.
Yep. So
but yeah, my kid loves Lego. We talk about Lego all the time on our show, and he's got a
Oh.
ton of the sets. And he's always asking, Daddy, when are they gonna make Mario? Can we go buy another Mario and paint him? Like he loves Luigi,
Mhm.
like that's his jam. So when that got sent over in those show notes, I was like, I haven't heard anything about this, and I like been every once in a while I check up on it, and every time the Mario itself gets an update, I try to
Mhm.
find out, what did they add, because they add stuff like the purple as an interactive. That
Yeah.
color I found out before they announced the new sets.
No, those sets are so great, dude.
Yeah.
My you and I have talked about this, Devin, a bit, but like my nephew has a whole mess of those sets. I think it's so cool that I mean, Nintendo, when you think of Lego, I honestly thought that they would have started this sort of licensing a long time ago. But
Yeah.
one thing that's cool about it is like these Lego sets are not just typical Lego bricks kind of made into Nintendo licenses. They're like very specific, playable. They almost don't feel like Legos in a way, but
Yeah.
they're very
Yeah.
playable and they're so
Yeah.
unique for Lego sets. They're awesome.
I like the fact that you can build them into their big giant courses, like they're one big level.
Yeah,
and-
it's like modular. Like,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
Oh, I'm
However,
jealous that I'm not a child right now. Those are
Oh yeah.
Well, you are a child, Jerry.
you are a
a
child.
man child. Yeah, I am.
Anyone can
I
buy
mean-
Legos, Jerry. Come on.
Jerry, you're going around collecting the Power Ranger figures. So do we need to really talk about the whole child level for you?
For displays, I'm gonna make giant
Defend yourself.
dioramas. Yeah,
Oh.
but also
So-
X-Men. Oh man, anyone see Hasbro's Fan Fest? The Sentinel that they're coming out with? Oh my
No.
god.
No.
Oh my god. I want like 3 and create that mansion diorama scene. Oh
the
my god.
only
They look
the only
amazing.
thing I saw from that was the transforming Optimus Prime.
Oh, that
my
was
god, that thing
one
is
that's-
so sick.
Oh my god. $700
base-
though.
Oh, the
$700?
self-transforming, yeah.
Oh,
It'll
geez.
transform on its
700.
own. So yeah. I mean,
Worth it.
Matt,
little bit.
you've probably spent close to that on some of your dollies and your statues.
I don't buy toys. Yeah, it's sad but true. I've got a mess of figures and toys. I mean, if you're talking just like toys and figures like that, Figmas are some of my favorites, or like NECA makes some great
Yeah.
video game licenses.
Oh man, I got a couple cool. Mayfax is the company I like. I like Mayfax.
Mayfax, okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about kind of like what we were kind of referencing, the whole Phil Spencer gag that's going on. Matt, well done on your placement.
Yeah, I thought you
Mine-
Give you props.
The Luden statue and everything.
Did anybody
like-
notice
I mean-
that Mark Cerny
Do I
had a
feel
Luigi
like-
statue in that Resident Evil
Is that
reveal,
a
by the way?
Is that your
Oh, I
switch
didn't.
up in there?
He did.
Yeah, it blends in because I got horrible lighting. So let me
Oh, I
do
should've
that
brought
to
my
make it a little bit more
Switch.
prevalent. We all have the same running joke here,
So
Well, I
I mean,
thought
we
of it
talked
first.
about it, in the last couple weeks where Phil
Yeah.
Spencer had, the Luden statue on one shelf. He had a Switch on another. During the latest thing that they're doing, that in the Sarah Bond video, there was a Switch up on one shelf and stuff. So
Right.
everyone's rumoring that Xbox and Nintendo have this secret thing that they're working on. Do you guys think that Game Pass would actually come to Switch?
I would say not.
Devin,
If, but
I'll lead
when.
with you as the Xbot,
The Resident
Yeah.
X spot.
the Resident
Actually,
Xbot.
yeah,
I love
it's,
that.
For them.
I
I
mean,
love
they've been working on it. I mean, they've got, Cuphead Ori partnership. They got Banjo, into Smash. I think it's just a matter of time. I think it'll be limited in some capacity, but just because Nintendo likes to be Nintendo. But
Right.
I think it'll happen one way or another in some shape or form. It'll get it.
My prediction, I don't think it's going to be limited. My prediction is like if they do announce Game Pass, it's going to be with the new Switch, because I think
Mm.
the way that they're going, the power consumption and in the hardware that I think the routes that they're going, it's meant to deal with those type of games.
Yeah,
So
that's what I said. That's what I said in our Discord chat. Is like, sweet, now when that 8K Switch that everyone's rumoring about
Yeah.
comes out, I got a Game Pass to play on it.
Exactly.
I mean, that's if they can get superconductors.
Yeah.
As
Yeah, I'm
far
just-
as the console space goes, undoubtedly it would come to Switch before anything else. I mean, obviously they've got sort of a legacy of working together, but to me, it's this rare instance where they can kind of coexist. They are competitors, but they're certainly not direct competitors like PlayStation and Microsoft. So
They're oddly
I can
friendly,
certainly
for
see
sure.
Nintendo would be the bearer of this decision. Microsoft wants Game Pass everywhere.
It's got to be a legal nightmare too, because you got to go back to all those publishers and all those studios and be like, hey, by the way, can you put your game on our system to be put on another machine?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, legal's got to be getting their fingers into that. That's going to be a nightmare.
Or it could be a very specific library similar to Game Pass on PC. You know,
Yeah,
library on PC.
that's-
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying when I say it's coming in a limited capacity. Is
I see. Yeah, right.
you're not going to get the full
okay.
300 odd
It-
games that's on there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be everything
no
in
way.
Game Pass that's already on Switch or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's
yeah,
true.
I mean, Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
Ori, Cuphead. So with that too is this week the private beta invite started going out for xCloud for PC and iOS.
That's amazing. I mean, people have been
As-
asking for that forever for on iOS.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I am going to, the second xCloud does open up on iOS, I will sign up for it and I will try it. Because if it works pretty well for me, then I can play the Xbox games I love. Like, you know, Devin's got Halo Reach in the background, and Halo, I love Halo, love Forza. But honestly, those two franchises aren't enough for me personally to be dropping $300 to $500 right now on an Xbox.
Right.
Because the games I play and are on PlayStation, Uncharted, Horizon,
Mhm.
you know, the actual exclusives.
Exclusive.
But
world exclusive.
right.
I do miss my Halo and my Gears though. I do miss those franchises.
So I will try it out and see how it is, and if it works, great. I'll just use my iPad for Xbox.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos out there, people doing it. Like The Verge posted some video content of them playing on an iPhone, and it looks just like what runs on Android. You know,
Mhm.
you pop it up, you spin up a server, you're in the game, and it just works.
Yep.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, that's just good.
xCloud is such an interesting proposition to me. Like, I mean, obviously with iOS, the user base is massive. It's like it's over a billion, perhaps up to
lot.
1.5 billion.
Yeah.
And I used to kind of scoff at xCloud because I think, you know, I still think people make a fundamental mistake when they like conflate these gaming markets and assume that, you know, mobile users want a console experience on their phone. And, you know, the mobile market and the console market are very different things. Mobile market's very static and concentrated. I think everybody wants in, everybody would love to get in. You saw PlayStation make some moves in that direction too. So like right now I see xCloud as kind of a supplementary feature for core gamers. And I don't think the average mobile user is interested in core gaming experiences. Like I don't see people in that demographic like taking out their iPhone to play Doom while they're dropping a deuce at the airport, or whatever.
You know?
But that's the idea, though, isn't it? Like, how do you guys
No.
feel like if that was to come to pass? Like I'm just saying, like, mobile gamers want access to like those type of games and have those experiences, but on their phone.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like that would kind of hurt the console like industry
No.
or
No,
no?
not at all.
No.
It won't hurt it at all. And honestly, like if you like the biggest difference, obviously with console and mobile is that you're on the go, you have it readily available, but at the same time, you're literally just gonna be checking something for like a minute or two. Your game can't be that long. You can't play a full like Gears of War game, or you can't do a full level of Halo.
But that's what I'm
'Cause
saying. That's what mobile. I mean, like you said, Matt, you would play it on your iPad. A lot of I'm seeing a lot of people carrying like their own controllers, wireless controllers, and playing on their iPad like on the go.
That's like totally
what I'm talking about.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't see the market there right now, but that doesn't mean it
Yeah.
always will be where it is now. I really
That's true.
see like some potential really unique advantages for Microsoft with this. And this may sound crazy, but like I was just thinking about this actually just a few weeks ago because they dropped sales figures for the Japanese region. Of course, Nintendo's owning Japan, which doesn't
Always.
surprise me.
Always.
And I'm glad to see Nintendo do well. But I really think the success of the Switch has almost as much to do with its form factor than it does its library.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
in other words, Switch is really compatible with the Japanese lifestyle. they're on the train, they're mobile, they're moving. People in the
Yeah.
dense population, smaller apartments, you know, they don't want to, and they can take their console experience on the go. And when they bring it home, it's not parking a Buick in the living room. And if you consider like Microsoft making acquisitions with Japanese in the Japanese region, you think like a Sega, you know, I think like for the first time, you could see Microsoft potentially, I'm not saying they will, but potentially penetrating the Japanese market in part because of content, but also because of form factor and mobile compatibility. That makes it so unique. And I also think if you're talking about them penetrating other markets, foreign markets like India, China, Korea, Japan, these are all like you have so many unique advantages to penetrate those markets without shipping hard consoles. iOS, Android cell phones are everywhere. That's really unique for them. So again, I don't see the market there right this minute, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't get there eventually. And as you guys are seeing with these attachments and things, that's basically the Switch concept personified right there. So I think that's really going to be interesting.
Yeah,
So to piggyback on that,
Yeah.
you know, I want to just, you know, Daro Gaming 15 in the Twitch chat basically said you'll need a Tesla charger for your phone if you want to play a Halo game.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though, is like when we talk about playing on an iPad, that right, you know, the Apple event was yesterday. You know, Jerry, Theo, and myself, we were kind of doing a little text chat going on. You know, the new iPads are going to be 5G.
Right.
Okay.
So I think that would lead right into, you know, being able to game more so on the go with that. But Matt, you bring up an interesting point, and you know, not to kind of go off topic, but we usually do when something like this happens. Is that
when does this ever happen?
Yeah, right.
Tangents? No.
You
Not
talk about
podcasting.
you know Xbox trying to get into other markets, right? You know, this past week there was the rumors, and Matt, you and I talked about this. Is there was rumors that Sony could be looking to acquire Square Enix. There's rumors that other people are trying to acquire them. Phil Spencer has come out and said that they are looking to acquire a Japanese studio. So first and foremost, what do you how much stock do you put into Sony going after Square Enix? And two, who in the Japanese market from a studio do you think Xbox is actually trying to court to be part of that Xbox Studios?
Sega.
Yep. Yeah, we've talked about this a few times. It's everyone's talking to everyone.
Right.
I think the Square rumors got squished. I think they put out and said we're not looking to be sold or bought, which I'm sure there's a half truth to that because you know everyone's asking, you know, everyone's talking to everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Phil's been trying to nail something down in Japan for a while now. I mean, he goes out there several times a year. But yeah, something like Sega would fit. I mean, we've seen all that progression with the Yakuza series on Game Pass, so that's been pretty successful.
Right.
And they already have Phantasy Star.
Yep, Phantasy Star.
And they've got a Sega studio making the new Age of Empires game.
Yeah, right.
My guess would be Sega or Capcom.
Dude, God, that would break my heart if Capcom.
Man, I get so mad when we say Capcom.
Yeah,
love to see
Capcom went off.
But
speaking of another Twitter war today,
So
But I honestly think,
I mean,
if they were
Sega
looking
is
for a
the.
backer,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Sega is seems like the likely candidate here, as
Definitely.
we've said. I mean, the thing about Sega too is people may kind of forget that they have also acquired quite a lot since they've been out of the console space themselves.
Yeah.
Honestly, like our generation may think of Sega as synonymous with like Sonic, but they are so much bigger than that now. You think of like Persona, Valkyria Chronicles, some games I love, Dragon's Crown,
Catherine,
Catherine, a bunch of Vanillaware games,
all the Total War stuff.
Dude, yeah, seriously. And again, like if you're talking about Microsoft potentially penetrating other markets, they need a Japanese developer.
they need a heavy hitter,
and like
not just some small
probably
studio.
a lot of people wouldn't think about buying an Xbox, but they might think about Game Pass on their cell phone eventually. Again, I think a lot of this is long game, and like as much as it would break my heart and it would piss me off, I don't see Capcom, at least at the moment. Maybe that's me just telling myself, but I don't know.
They're doing too well with Resident Evil.
Their
series
price is
and
high now.
Monster Hunter. Yeah,
I
Monster
think they
Hunter
want to
Resident
be as
Evil are
That's
just
agnostic
keeping
as
true.
they
them.
want to be. They seriously want to be agnostic as much as possible, I think.
I mean,
exactly.
Matt, I mean,
Capcom's-
but if Sega goes to Microsoft, whatever will we do with without having Mario and Sonic at the Olympics?
Well, they could still do
It'll
it
be
because they
on
got that.
Xbox Switch Game
Yeah, it'd be on the
Pass.
Game Pass.
It's the
No.
Olympics, man.
Oh,
That's what they're
God.
trying to do. They want an Olympic game on their platform. So like, well, let's buy Sega. We're already good with
The easiest
Nintendo.
way to get it.
That's
Yeah.
the whole reason they're doing this.
Yeah.
I mean,
That'll give Rare something to do. There you go, done. Easy peasy.
hey,
But definitely, it's definitely like a lot of Xbox moves are not foreseeable right now, for sure.
Yeah.
Correct.
For
Who would
sure.
have said Bethesda a year ago? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like Matt said, like and all of us have eventually said that a lot of Xbox's moves are more towards the future. They're playing the long game, and I've been saying this since day one. Like they were rolling the dice with Game Pass, and it's working. And
Yeah,
they
Definitely.
yes,
they're sticking to their guns, and it's going to be interesting to see what
I will eat
where they
crow
head
on
in
it.
the future.
just
Yeah.
like Jerry, we'll both eat crow on the fact that we both said, back when xCloud was, Game Pass was really starting to start up originally, right? I was like,
Oh, I
dude,
was not about
it's the Netflix of gaming.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work.
I thought there would be a place for it, but honestly, at that point, you also had Stadia, that was firing up and kind of the talk of the town, right, at that time too. But Phil and Sarah Bond have done an amazing job with what the value is that they're bringing to Game Pass and all the different games that they're getting. What, Outriders on day one?
Yeah,
that's a banger. MLB The Show.
You want to talk about and a stealth drop Octopath Traveler?
Yeah.
And if it, if it ever comes out, the new Halo game, that's going to be out on day one. If it ever comes out.
As the resident Xbox, that's rude. First. Number two, how dare you?
But number three, Devin, if they really need to delay it again, let them delay it again. Just get a good game that's not broken when it launches.
Yeah. How good was 343 feeling when Cyberpunk came out the way they did? And they're like,
because everybody wanted it to come out, and they're like, throwing death threats, like, "Hey, get this game out," and then they're like, "Okay, here you go," and then it's like, "Oh, this is what you wanted. This game is crap. Like, I'm gonna kill you anyways." Now it's like
it was tough to finish. It was very tough to finish.
Yeah, the long com's paying off. I mean, that's what Phil's vision's been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me personally, when I was told, all our first party titles day one, I was like, sweet, I got my pillars, I got my Gears, my Halo, my Forza, done. That's enough for me to sub to. So.
And it is a great value for anybody that wants to do it. I don't.
Yeah, like
I don't knock
playing
anybody who does
Octopath.
it. I don't knock anybody who doesn't do it. I've got Octopath on my Switch, so I'm good with that.
I haven't touched an RPG since I was in high school, and I've been playing Octopath. So
you have an Xbox.
It's a fantastic game. Now let's talk about another. I consider a fantastic game. I don't know Matt's opinion on this one, but Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition went free this week as part of Play at Home. So for all the listeners, I have a PlayStation 4 or 5. Go download it. Go play it. Because that game is fantastic.
It's an amazing game.
Really good.
I really want to give that game another try. And speaking of which, I'm really surprised that they have not released like a PS5 optimized patch for that game.
That's what I'm waiting for. Yeah.
It's starting to annoy me, actually.
Well, Matt, they're working on Bloodborne first, so that's why.
And the Metal Gear Solid remake.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Totally getting remade.
We got a pizza bet on this one, man.
Another one, baby. Another one part of the army.
Bring it, boys. It's totally coming, boys. Just hang tight. It's coming.
Is Naughty Dog still doing the Metal Gear remake? Or
no, it's going to be Blue Point. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That's good.
I've got
which week is this, Matt?
A whole bunch of theories going on here, but it's Blue Point Games doing.
Which pizza bet are we on?
Matt, I'm right there with you, dude. Give us that remake. Metal Gear Solid. Bring it, please.
So, Matt, with Horizon, honestly, I have fired it up on the PS5. That game looks incredible. It plays great still. If they want to give me a PS5 upgrade on it, fine. But it's one of those ones I don't think it really needs it.
Honestly, I would expect that to come with the sequel when the sequel
That's
comes
what
out.
I was thinking too.
Yeah,
like they did with Ratchet.
Or Spider-Man
right before.
Totally. I think that's
Miles Morales 60
ramp
frames
us up for that thing.
ray tracing.
I just don't want to start replaying it and then halfway through they drop the patch and I'm like, oh man, should have waited.
Oh, I know, dude. Seriously.
Or when I
Seriously.
finish.
Yeah, because you know
Kinda
that
like those FF7 remake folks that are starting to play the game because they got it for free last month on PlayStation Plus,
Yeah.
and you got Integrate coming for PS5. So
Honestly, I half the reason I hope that they patch Horizon is because I would presume that they would do the same with Death Stranding since they're both Decima. So that's my other
Death
hope.
Stranding's another one. I don't know if it really needs it when you look at how good that game looks.
That one,
Decima
that
engine
one,
is
Matt, I'm
ridiculous.
kind of with you because like the moment I loaded that up, that was a beautiful looking game.
Like,
Very, very tough
pretty
to
one.
very
Are you
tough
guys
to
trying to like
finish, but yeah.
I
Well,
thought
Jim
I was-
spoiled me
that's
though.
what
I need
question. That's
I
what I
need
was
60.
questioning you. Like, at some point, like, are you just trying to be like feeling everything? Like, how HD? How much more crazy? Like, do you guys really want it to be? I mean, there's
I've said
there's
this
some games that
before.
are just perfect as it is.
I've said this before. The direction of gaming I want the Oasis.
Yeah.
So
Ready
you want to
Player
just go
One.
straight VR, like
yeah.
Boom. I want the
buy an
Oasis.
Oculus.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd say they work on HDR stuff more than actual pixels, because I was in Best Buy the other day where the missus works and they got 8K TVs, and I look at the 4K TVs. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've got a trained eye and I can't even. Yeah,
I don't see a difference
at some
anymore.
point, where is you're just like, you know what, like that's it. Like
Yeah.
I love my 4K HDR.
But yeah,
That's
HDR.
There's
Yeah.
no going back. Once you go HDR 4K, there's
Yep.
no going back.
There's nothing. So, now speaking of decisions that Phil Spencer's been making that were really good, Jim Ryan and company, as much as some of us
Oh
love them,
man,
made a really bad decision.
good old match. I mean, Ryan.
Hey,
For real.
not
Sorry.
Harrison.
Wait, hello, is
You're
my
not
mic-
Harrison.
Is that on mute? What's going on?
So
There's our
we all
boy.
know that they made the announcement to shut down the PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, and PSP stores. So it did come out this week. Jim Ryan and company have decided to reverse course. So in a great, post on the PlayStation blog. So listeners, let's just kind of we'll read to you. So he says, recently we notified players that PlayStation Store for PS3 and PS Vita devices was planned to end this summer. Upon further reflection, aka we got blasted on social media.
Let me reflect on
Let's
Twitter.
reflect on this. However, it's clear that we made the wrong decision here. So today I'm happy to say that we will be keeping the PlayStation Store operational for PS3 and PS Vita devices. PSP commerce functionality will retire on July 2nd, 2021 as planned, which honestly the PSP's been, I think it's at that point in the life cycle. It's probably okay to shut that
Put
down.
that baby to bed.
What about the PSP Go? Where does this fit in?
Oh God.
That's in my
Probably
cabinet right now. That's where that is.
In the
Rest in
basement
peace,
where it
buddy.
needs to stay.
Right.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, when we initially came to the decision to end purchasing support for PS3 and PS Vita, it was born out of a number of factors, including commerce support challenges for older devices and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our gamers are playing on.
well,
We
lies.
see now that many of you are incredibly passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on PS3 and PS Vita for the foreseeable future. So I'm glad we were able to find a solution to continue operations. I'm glad we can keep this piece of history alive for gamers to enjoy while we continue to create cutting edge new game rules for PS4, PS5, and the next generation of VR. Thank you for sharing your feedback with us. We're always listening and appreciate the support from our PlayStation community. So here's my thought on this is that Jim Ryan has always gone on record saying he doesn't believe in backwards compatibility at all.
Nope.
Losing generations.
And it's just generations.
That was taken out of
So-
context.
Really, Matt? Because he pulled the trigger to shut down the.
He was talking
PS3
about
and
Gran
Vita stores.
Turismo at some event. They were okay.
Listen, we all know this
He
was
did
just
say
a
that.
ploy to get me to hook up my PS3
Yeah, right.
and buy like 15 PS1 games,
Okay,
and then the next
for
day they're
real,
like,
dude.
oh, they'll stay around. I'm like, oh, thank
Not
you.
gonna.
No.
I
want my money back.
I bought Legend of Dragoon and SimCity 2000.
Yeah, I bought so
For my
many
Vita.
PS1 games.
There you go.
Yeah.
This
Money well spent.
Right.
it was this whole thing came out honestly because of the shortage of PS5s and all the bots that have them. And they're like, oh, we have a lot of gamers that are out buying the systems, but we don't have the revenue coming in for all the games that are coming around. Because I don't know, like there's only like a couple 100,000 that bots still have. Like, come on, like I'm still trying to get a PS5.
Oh my god, dude!
I'm
really?
not trying like super hard, but I'm still like, hey, I'll take a look. It's like, oh, sold out.
Yeah, try to get anything. I've been trying to get a PS5. I've been trying to get a graphics card.
Yeah.
Which, that's a horrible decision.
Yeah.
And Xbox, you can't get them.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know what?
Any
Like,
PC component.
I'm kind of over it. I'm just like, you know what? I have about 2-3 months to actually try and get one. For all the
before you
stuff
move
that
to
is coming
Phoenix
out.
with us.
You'll get one.
Hey,
Thoughts and
sir, if
prayers.
I ever get that
Okay.
transfer going, like I'm just saying.
Won't get on it.
Devin,
the
I feel
thing
for you,
is-
man. All those PC components, man. The game card, the fan. So
that's rough.
impossible.
Boys.
Yeah, it's rough.
That's
Yeah,
that's a whole nother.
That computer is an old PC that I had a bot running for a while to try to get one off Amazon. That's how desperate I'm. One of those guys. Like I had, yeah.
Oh, I get it,
it's
man.
so bad. It's like I'm just trying to get a card.
Yeah.
and it's just not happening.
So look, I'm going to play devil's advocate though a little bit for Sony because I get the reason why part of it is shutting down some of that legacy stuff is because servers nowadays cost a lot of money to maintain, to keep up and running in a data center somewhere, especially as the older legacy server hardware is starting to be replaced. They have that upkeep and cost. So if they're not seeing the numbers per se of purchases on the stores, why keep that functionality up and running? Now, that being said, I think it was a bad move because you have Xbox constantly out there going, hey, look, backwards compatible.
Yeah,
backwards
right.
compatible.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you really want to, you can take your Xbox Series controller and go play it on Xbox One. The Xbox is making all these moves, and I think Sony right now is in a spot where they need some good favors, so to speak. And
They need a
probably
dub, dude.
shouldn't have.
Yeah, they need to win. As an Xbox,
need to win,
I'm even
and-
say they need to win because the optics on that looked real bad. It was bad timing.
Yeah.
Just like anything
Yeah.
else, between that
was
and
like
MLB, and I mean,
Yeah.
you just name it. It's just they can't.
But
just
it's also
not-
kind of their fault though. Like they've been
Yeah.
sticking. They've like purposely really been sticking to their guns of their exclusives, and
Exclusives.
haven't been
World
listening to the fans. Where like I think a lot of people have been saying like you need to come out with your own version of Game Pass.
Which is
totally,
rumored
yeah.
that they're looking at possibly upgrading PlayStation Now to be something that's more of that. But I mean, I think
They either
honestly,
need to
we're
get rid of
probably
it or
we're a year out.
totally revamp it. Yeah.
That could be why they entered into that deal early last year with Sony and Microsoft, where Microsoft was going to help them with game deployment platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
the
then-
Azura.
Yeah.
the
the
Azure
servers.
cloud, and then Sony in turn was going to help Microsoft with the camera lenses and stuff like that.
I was
in
excited for
terms
that
of-
because I thought that was kind of going to open the doors a little bit to negotiation of like something, but
please, it's
Damn,
Jim Ryan right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's-
honestly,
they stick to their guns, bro.
There was
yeah, man.
If it was Sean or Tom,
Sean
yeah,
Layden.
all day.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say, yeah,
all day
Sean,
would have
yeah, dude. Yeah.
Sean Layden was trending on Twitter.
Yeah, he
last
was.
week with it.
He liked some
And
of
he
my
is on
It's
Twitter.
fine.
He just goes on liking all those tweets. Like he's having a great
Seriously.
time.
Yeah,
watching-
he's just sitting there
watching all
sipping
this.
his scotch and just be like,
Yep.
Told you
"It's
so.
so good." Yeah,
I think it
Yeah,
was
after
really
that,
good
you know-
for. I think it was really good for Jim Ryan to be the face of this statement. Also, it
Yes,
could have
correct.
easily been
Yes.
anybody, but like to reverse course on it, I think is big for him right now.
Mhm.
It's fun. It's not like PlayStation is losing absolute control of the narrative per se, but I think we see time and again how important a narrative is around a product. And like, especially, I mean, at the end of the day, I think games are the critical currency of your platform. And as long as they keep providing those, I think it's going to be, I think I think things are going to be okay, but sooner or later, I think PlayStation fans or PlayStation gamers are going to want and expect more out of the brand. And like in the context, as we've said, Japan studio closing, it's a weird story around Ben's studio and Sony not supporting Days Gone 2 and all these things, like Last of Us remake. Why? And I think core fans, certainly myself, are like getting more and more skeptical about the direction of PlayStation, and like
they're losing their momentum.
Seriously. And it's like I feel like they're still certainly carrying all the momentum. They came out like a bat out of hell from the PS4 era, and they're still riding that. But like the thing is, it speaks to what is the character and essence of PlayStation right now. And I think people are like, Jim Ryan, who are you? You know, what are you going to do to the PlayStation brand? What are these weird tie-ins that you're going to bring? Is this about PlayStation? And like you saw that video from Sean Layden talk about Vib Ribbon. And I even remember that. I'm like, this is why I love PlayStation, because they're not making, you know, Call of Duty 10. They're making these weird, awesome little games that are as much about creativity and artistic expression of this medium than they are about making, you know, this massive online game to make money. So
I mean, case in point, Dreams.
Yeah, right. No, that's good.
Dreams.
And that's the thing. I think that a lot of games now we're seeing, these games are an era of PlayStation that is not with us right at this moment. These are like heritage games from Layden's day, really. That's why games like Returnal, I think, are super important, because these are investments they made 3-4 years ago. So I think it's good. It's going to be and Kena, right. So I don't know. Again, it's hard not to jump off the deep end and be like, what is happening to my console? But like, this is where my head goes.
It's too familiar with you know, all in one, online only, you know, like it's too familiar.
Xbox.
Exactly.
It's the cyclical nature of the industry that it's just Xbox is firing on all cylinders. PlayStation stumbling. It was complete opposite last gen, and the gen before that it was flipped. And it's just
they were riding high with 360.
Yeah,
everyone you spoke to at least had a 360. Yeah.
History's repeating itself, and it's terrifying.
It almost feels like Sony has hired the consulting firm of Matrick and Harrison right now.
Oh man,
no.
Yeah, failing upwards. How to? That's the book they need to go write.
But Matt, think about it though. I mean, these are some of these things that are going on right now are some things that you would expect, you came to expect with Matrick and Harrison, which is what got them fired.
I mean, I will say this about our boy Jim Ryan. He's had a rough go of it. But
he's not my boy.
He's not my boy.
Dude, Greg's been on his ass for feels like years.
But, I mean, he was part of that power struggle with Sean Layden, and that's one of the reasons Sean left, is because Sean wanted to go to what we were talking about, is the indie part, whereas Ryan is all about the money. He wants the multiplayer investments, all of that, and get as much money into the business as possible.
He's a businessman. He's not a gamer.
Yeah,
Layden was a gamer.
Oh, that is such a like nail on the head quote right there, Devin.
He's not a gamer.
He's not. I mean, like, all of us are complaining about this and this and this, and all of it is pretty much the same thing because we've been playing games for so many years.
Yeah.
Like Ryan's not worried about his decisions because look,
he just looks at he just asks the accountant, "Hey, what's it look like Q1? What's Q2 look like?" Yeah. And if you just do that, like, no wonder why you're going to fail. You know, you're putting all your investments into the wrong things.
And well, I mean, it wouldn't bother me so much if it didn't also coincide with things like Shuhei Yoshida kind of getting the bump. You know, he was kind of rising through the ranks. I think everybody looked at Shu and was like, dude, this is PlayStation, you know.
Shu should have taken over from Sean.
Dude, he should be king of this planet as far as I'm concerned. But I will say this for our boy Jim Ryan, everyone's boy except for Greg. We don't yet know what his legacy is. So I think it's really easy to sit here and say this and this and this is wrong. Well, I mean, PS5 just broke records for sales and units and revenue. Still are
writing. You still have to see where,
I mean,
you know, where the path is going to go.
Really good with the game library. In my opinion, it's going to, we'll have to see how that bears out, but don't judge the man quite yet, is how I feel.
I think Kermit Holst being head of Worldwide Studios is a plus because, to our point, he's a gamer.
Yeah, he's he's got some credibility in that department for sure.
Some of it too, though, I feel is just a natural progression of the games that are coming out, the games that people want. You know, like PS5, you kind of, it's inevitable in some sections.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
into that, like PlayStation's identity is quadruple A hits. They produce them, people buy them, they're juggernauts. End of discussion. You know, and their legacy's always been these hits, these big titles. It's never been backwards compatibility or Game Pass. Like that's Xbox's, like that's their image now. It's not AAA titles. It's Game Pass. It's backwards compatibility. It's, you know, the legacy. Yeah. Whereas PlayStation's always been, you buy the new machine and you buy the new games for it, and that's where Jim Ryden's, you know, heading with the machine. And
I mean, I kind of feel like this is almost a vindication of Microsoft's forward thinking with a lot of their architecture on their consoles. I mean, PS2 launched with backwards compatibility, PS3 launched with backwards compatibility. I mean, debatable how well that held through
to a certain degree.
I think really PS4 was the first console that was built with forward thinking in mind. I think if Sony could just magically flip a switch and be what Microsoft is doing, they would do it. I really think that.
Yeah,
but they can't. And I think that PS4 is going to be forwards compatible, I think, with everything they do from here. And they're still kind of trying to, you know, arrange chairs on the Titanic on how they figure this backwards compatibility thing out.
Well, I think PS1 and PS2, you could make it happen because it, like, that architecture wasn't that hard back then. You just need an emulator that's going to allow
the Vita
the current
PS1
processor,
games.
Right? I think the problem is going to be the PS3 is going to be the problem, because trying to build an emulator for a completely different architecturally designed processor that we had never seen before. That's something. The cell processor was good on paper.
Yeah.
And then you try to code for it. So
towards the end of the life cycle, it was banging, you know, it was nice. But it took, you know, developers 8 years to figure it out.
Yeah. They had to give blood to make that thing work.
Yeah.
All right. So real quick, let's kind of go around the table, kind of what we're playing these days. Greg, let's start with you.
All right.
The Human Platinum.
That's right. He earned that. He earned that nickname, man.
I'm holding tight at 99. I don't know what's going to be 100.
Returnal.
Maybe. I'm kind of bouncing around. I'm waiting for Nier this Friday. That's going to be one I'm going to dive into.
Oh, that is this Friday.
And then,
sweet.
Yeah, and then Returnal the next Friday, and then Resident Evil the next Friday. So,
Mass Effect the following Friday.
Yeah.
Clear your schedule.
Yeah, I know. So now I'm kind of just doing some mop up. I've been playing some
Resident Evil. Yeah.
Some Crisis Remastered. They kind of finally fixed that on current gen systems, and doing some Undermine, a little Octopath Traveler. Just kind of everywhere.
Oh, sweet.
Just everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Plays it all, man.
Yeah.
Devin, how about you?
I've been kind of all over the board. Been playing a lot of classic NES and Super NES Classic with the kiddo.
Nice.
Like I said before, he's huge into Mario, and you know, that's what got him into Legos, because he saw Lego Mario. So it's kind of feeding off of itself. But yeah, we've been playing that. That's been great. I've been playing Modern Warfare, Warzone. They nuked Verdansk today, so that was cool. Gotten that Verdansk. Yeah, it was a in-game event.
So they copied Fortnite. Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah, well, we don't know what the map's going to look like. We've been asking for a new map for a while. I mean, they've been having the same map for over a year now. They nuked it, so we'll see what happens. We should find out tomorrow, because it was part 1 was today. Part 2 is going to happen in about 15 minutes, or just happened. I don't know. And then part 3 and 4 is tomorrow. So we'll see where Verdansk goes. Other than that, let's see, Octopath Travel and Outriders.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Maddie?
I have this running joke on our podcast. I don't play games anymore because I've been so busy with work and life. I did. I was able to play the Resident Evil 8 demo, you know, it was like that time demo, and you could always
30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. You could
The
only
half
jump in during
moon
the,
was right.
I got 30
harvest
minutes.
moon, whatever. The 8
I wish I
hour
could
time
play
window.
it, man.
Dude, it's so good. It actually
It's on PS4.
yeah,
Is it on
oh, is it?
PS4?
Yeah, PS4 and
Yeah.
PS5. I
Oh.
played
Yeah.
it on PS5 like you do, but I played the Maiden demo, and I'm gonna play Resident Evil no matter what. But the previous Maiden demo, it didn't like really. It I'm fine with it. It felt more like an introduction to the castle itself than it was about gameplay. So it was kind of a walking simulator in that regard. But dude, I'm telling you, people are gonna love Resident Evil 8. It feels like, I know people have been saying this, but I actually said this on our podcast before I heard everyone else say it. But I swear to God, it feels like Resident Evil 4. The control scheme, I think it's going to be really compatible with the Western market of gamers because it feels like a first-person shooter. It's really snappy. It's faster paced than Resident Evil 7. Brings like the core elements of 7 that made it unique, but still maintains its like Resident Evil DNA and survival horror. I cannot wait for that game.
Yeah, and
Nice.
dude, those villains, that head mistress or maiden, whatever.
Shout out to Lady
Scary.
Reese's thick ass.
Yeah. I want my 9-foot tall lady.
Dude, that
That's
is
right.
the
Dude,
Step
that
on
is
my
scary.
the
face or
meme.
whatever.
That is the
That was-
meme that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Won't go away.
Well, speaking of Matt, why is your boy Jim not allowing that game to be on Game Pass? I need you to tell me right now.
He's protecting market interests, baby. Here's the other thing.
That's rude. Don't be rude.
It's
No.
it's Xbox parody, man.
Yeah, that's all they can do before Microsoft comes in and buys the whole damn company out.
Yeah.
So Jerry?
Actually, there's this YouTube video. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Hogue Law. Have you ever heard of this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Hodor?
he's
Yeah,
really good. He
I
was
watched Game of
looking at
Thrones.
this. Hogue Law. He's on YouTube. He kind
Hold
of
the door.
he's a lawyer, but he talks a lot about the legality and
Mhm.
I don't know, the fine verbiage around gaming. And he went did a deep dive on this thing specifically, and basically why this is much ado about nothing. The language therein is pretty standard.
I imagine it's
Hmm.
everywhere, pretty much. You just don't see it.
Yeah. Like the whole, after the whole, you can't put this on Game Pass. And then people are saying, oh, what about visual parity? It's like, I'm sure that's in every clause. So
Dude,
that,
it is. And somebody
Yeah.
went and posted, Phil Spencer's talk about it too. It's just, it is what it is. It's part about doing business.
yeah.
And
It is, so.
Hogue Law actually had a contract with Microsoft that looked and read very similar to that too. So I think it's kind of a case of it's really easy to get mad, but we have no context. I mean,
Yeah.
we play games. We don't
Yeah.
write the legal language in these things. So
No. And which is unfortunate about the industry as a whole is they're so damn secretive to where when we do get a document, people lose their mind. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure every
well-
suit and tie was like, why are people losing their, like, this is just, we took out whatever the last game was and we put in Resident Evil 8
Change the name.
and
Change
sent
the
it.
name.
Yeah.
and
Like-
suddenly you got a Twitter war.
Yeah.
I think some people are even speculating on the legitimacy of this thing, although he was
Yeah.
also quick to point out that Capcom had that huge security breach, so it could have been
Oh, yeah.
remnants of that also.
Mhm.
Mm.
But I guess we'll
Yep.
see how it bears out.
Right.
But Resident Evil
Jerry?
8, play it, boys and girls. It's awesome.
What have I
wait.
been playing? Well, a little bit of
Besides Apex
COD,
Legends.
and really, I've kind of just been focusing on Apex. With the Game Pass, kind of like the Battle Pass kind of ending, and the new Valkyrie investigation going. I've kind of been sticking with that. I'm gonna get back to Final Fantasy this week when I get back.
It is a good thing Newman wasn't in chat tonight.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's my focus, but it's starting to feel like a chore, and like I want to enjoy the game. So I'm like,
I mean, you had a
I'm
whole
gonna
year
get
to do it, sir.
I know, but it's starting to feel like a chore, and I'm not enjoying it. So I want to get back to just playing it, enjoying it, and getting through it.
Jason?
I know. I really haven't been. I've been still on the old school Blizzard right now. Like still
StarCraft?
StarCraft and Diablo 3
Nice.
right now.
Oh,
Nice.
sick.
Nice.
Yeah, playing here and there, playing a couple games of League of Legends with some friends, like trying to get back into
League.
PCs. Yeah. The most toxic
league,
group
man.
of people
No joke.
ever. Like, I could tell you, this is how a typical League of Legends game starts in 2 minutes. Hi, and then forfeit at 20, forfeit at 15. Like, just no matter what, one person dies maybe like at 2 minutes. Oh, forfeit, we lost.
And then didn't they make a change recently to where you don't lose as much score or whatever your rank is? Didn't they curb that a little bit?
They curved it a little bit, and they tried to fix the MMR, but people are still getting these like ridiculous and you can't stop Smurf accounts either, so it's just ridiculous. So like I was playing with the Challenger 1 player earlier, and I was like, wait, I'm just in like silver gold rating. Like, how am I playing with these crazy ass players? Oh yeah, I'm just on a Smurf account, just having some fun. Why not? Okay, whatever. But just having like a couple classics. Trying my hardest to get back into Magic, but it is just the cards are too crazy now, man.
Yeah,
that's why I still haven't started. I can't get into it, man. I can't.
That's why I built decks that are tried and true that I used to play with.
Yeah, but I mean, like the combos that go off now is just ridiculous. Like you have to put a full day of just thinking, how do I use one card? It's like I'm tired of it.
That's why every card I have in my mill deck just mills every time something happens.
That's why the only cards I collect now are drop mix cards. Damn it, Khalif.
Yes, Khalif, he's still doing that.
So great.
So
I've put so much money in like such a short amount of time. Like,
that's so funny.
Yep, that's funny.
This close for a $70 card. I was like, no.
That's PlayStation money.
Yo, that is a full game. But other than that, just classics. Matt?
Haven't done a ton of gaming as of late. But Apex Legends, playing a little bit of COD, of course, Animal Crossing. Still doing my grind on my island.
The addiction, yes.
Up at like almost 725 hours on it now.
Good God.
You're going straight from launch with that.
Jeez.
Yes, I've had it since launch. Also, I've been working through Ori and the Blind Forest.
There you go.
There you go. That a boy.
Nice.
Finally dove into that one. Dude, it is so good. I'm sorry I slept on it for this long. It is fantastic, and it plays really good on the Switch. Yeah. Still working through Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Nice.
Yeah. Playing a little MTG Arena, but also started reading Ask Iwata. The book that just came out. Dude, it's Iwata was such a great man to begin with. For when he actually spoke, people listen. It was more than just everyone was used to Reggie being kind of like the face of Nintendo, but it really was Iwata. And when you hear some of his thought process, especially when he was at what is it, the company
Nintendo
Labs, no the
what's that company?
I'm trying to remember the company that was but right before Nintendo, that does all the work for Nintendo too. Something Labs. But like he talks about, HAL.
Oh,
thank you, HAL Labs. And when they were basically on the verge of bankruptcy, and he talked about what got them through it, and his insights were just amazing to hear that how he cared about the company, how he literally scheduled meeting with every single person and sat down with them to find out what they wanted to, how they were doing and everything. It could go from 10 minutes, it could go to 3 hours, but he sat with every single employee to find out what made them tick and what made the company good. So
nice.
Wasn't it Iwata? I had heard that when Nintendo was going through a rough patch there in like the Wii U days, I think it was Iwata that took a pay cut so that other people at Nintendo could stay afloat. Man, that's a leader right there.
It is. So it is something I definitely recommend people picking up and reading. I'm about a third of the way through the book so far, and it's just what he says and how he talks about it is really great. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on.
Man, thanks for having us.
It's been a pleasure. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Super fun.
You guys have an open invitation. Devin, you don't need your email.
I was gonna say, I checked the junk, the spam, and it's just
Welcome to the winner circle.
Right. You guys are welcome back anytime. For those that joined us in chat tonight, thank you guys for watching tonight. Your support is always humbling. We wouldn't be here without you guys. To our listeners at home, thank you guys for crashing game night with us as well when you guys listen to the podcast when the audio drops this weekend. You know, as always, if you're new to watching us, listening to us, you know, if you like what you heard, you know, leave that comments, leave that feedback. Make sure to follow us on the podcast platform of your choice. Also follow us over at crashinggamenight.com. And as always, guys, be excellent to each other. Stay frosty. Be kind and rewind.
Don't you do
Oh!
you know what?
I
You
love
know
the
what?
underlying theme. That's right.
Oh
Thank you to
my
all of my nerds.
God.
Everyone, thank you for joining and listening and watching and learning all that experience. But once again, you know, this Black Lives Matter, Asian hate still needs support. If you see something, say something. If you feel comfortable to do it, call people out on what they're doing. You know, everybody needs help. We need to show our support. We need to end this massive movement of hate and just fight it with compassion, please. And be safe out there. And thank you for all of your support and you know, show others support as well. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys again for coming in. As always, you're welcome on this couch. You know, still looks clean. Thank you guys.
We're going to take a pillow as a complimentary gift.
No, but one question I do have for you, Devin, being
Yes.
an Xbox guy, how the hell do they have the MSRP? Like, how do they price these
that's
games?
the gold.
Don't even get
How
them
do they
started.
price these games?
That's a conversation for another
That's a
podcast.
big-
Well,
yeah,
they
that's a
take a
lot.
dartboard and
I mean, like, please. But anyways, so
oh, this is a hill I die on before we leave.
Yeah.
Crackdown 3 is every bit underrated as much as Spider-Man is overrated. I went down that hill.
Goes with this, man.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
this conversation never
Get him on
stops.
now.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
if you want to hear more of his banter, you can check us out on CrossPlatform Chat on
thank you. Yeah, I was
anywhere
about
you
to
get your
plug you guys.
podcast.
Yeah.
I
we're
am
the-
Matt at the Circle Button on Twitter. Join tens of thousands of followers. Well, maybe it's like
Thousands of-
70 followers. Yeah. Anyway, check me out.
Yeah, we're the McRib of podcasts. We're not very consistent, but we're there.
We're tasty when we
Wow.
come around, boy. I tell you
Man,
what.
we're yummy.
Well, yeah, thank you guys again. I was about to plug you guys again, but yeah, you guys
Love
did
you
it for me.
guys.
I
Perfect.
did it anyways.
Matt's
Yeah,
jumping in.
Matt,
we do it.
right there. You know, Greg, Devin, if they can find you on any other platforms as well.
Are you
Matt
on
as
Twitter,
well.
Jason?
I am not. I am.
You need to get on that Twitter.
Sir, sir.
I do.
I'm afraid.
I do
I'm
most of our
afraid of
social
Twitter.
media
I'm
stuff.
afraid of Twitter. I am afraid of Twitter.
With good reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stay away
that's-
from just stay away from social
Right.
media in general.
Yeah, I do my best. The only social media I have is Instagram, so I can hit like on all of our stuff. That's it. But yeah, thank you guys again. You know, we are at the end of vaccinations almost. Everybody is able to get them just about. If you're not able to yet, go to a red county,
County.
as we've found out earlier. They have abundance of those. But again, if you have the ability to, please vaccinate. For those able to, you know, it is an ongoing thing, and we're getting closer and closer towards the end goal of being able to go outside and see each other and actually say hello to each other without having to wear a mask.
I want to kiss you guys on the lips again. I'm just
Oh.
so Daddy
Right
needs it.
there, right there, baby. But yeah, so please stay safe, social distance still, get vaccinated. Thank you guys for taking my thunder, my intro Jerry, my outro Matt. So
But you get Theo's. You get to take
You can take
Theo's.
Theo's.
Yeah.
No, I can take Theo's. Matt,
Do it Newman style.
no. Matthew, that is all you, man. You as a guest. Everything's being taken away from me.
Oh.
I'm all over the place now. All over the place.
All right, I won't take a pillow after all.
God.
Well then, TTFN. Tots out for now. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.